Hey, Marianne. So, I'm envisioning this as kind of the end of the line where we've got the sign location for the hillside graves. I feel like this position, if you're facing from this direction, you can really see the terracing. You can see both headstones. You can see the posts that Selden put in. I think you really get a sense of the structure of the landscape and the organization of the landscape. And of course, you've got the RVA goats in the background. Okay, moving along. And I figured we could stop here because this, farther to the east, I guess, you've got the restoration work going on with the, little saplings planted and so on. And, we know that we've got the eroded path over there that we don't really want people to get too close to because they'll just use it. And then we also have at least two graves on the opposite side of that path. So I just feel like there's so many unknowns that maybe we can kind of stop it over here. So this would be the end. I started over here because it's the squirreliest section. So moving down the line, headed basically to the west. This double pink flag is where I thought maybe the Moses Bradford sign could go. There's so many graves, it would seem, depressions right up around his headstone, that I didn't think it'd be a good idea to necessarily place it there. And you'll see that I've kind of tried to place these so that they're guiding the visitor. It's an unmarked path, it's a natural path, but they're being guided to hopefully avoid, trampling anything, at least as far as we know so far. So maybe, and this will be the view so you can see the headstone there obliquely. I wasn't sure where the idea for the meditation garden would be. It's such a low spot on the landscape way down here by the edge, and we've got like big trees that have been come down, and so I'm kind of wondering if maybe, just an assumption, maybe, we could see some fill there, it looks like, that maybe we might be avoiding anybody buried. Of course, we can't, say for sure. We don't know what the geophysical looks like, and we haven't done any excavation or human remains, dogs, or anything like that. So, but anyway, so I thought maybe this could be the sign for the garden here. This area over here, between the family plot and the southwest corner of the parcel, there are depressions over here that to me look like graves. I've marked, I'll just come off the path for a second here. So this orange flag here, I think we've got depressions on either side of that flag. And in terms of just orientation, they're pretty much in line with what's going on over at the Bradford family plot. You can see over there. Okay, headed back to the path. So I don't know if this area over in the corner is really appropriate for the garden, but the signs are movable wonderfully. Okay, so here we're looking downslope towards the proposed garden sign, turning around, looking upslope. We've got the Bradford family plot with Queenie's headstone, and I thought maybe we could have the sign here. That way it's hopefully not really directly in front of anybody trying to get a photo of the whole family plot from over here. Hopefully we're not standing on anybody else's grave, like as a reader from this location. And then you can see from this spot, the proposed garden sign down there that would take people that way rather than through the hollies and where we think we probably have a lot of the hillside graves unmarked. Okay, continuing up slope along the edge of the Bradford family plot enclosure. This area here, just to the north of the family plot, is really dynamic in terms of what's going on with the surface. I don't know if we're looking at, an erosional feature, if this is a trench Was it dug? Is it a? I hate, is it a trench burial, or it's so deep that I almost wonder if folks may have been disinterred from this location. So something to consider, but I'm hoping that folks can kind of be guided around that depression, whether it's erosional or cultural, and bring them up through here. Oops, where we have our usher polka dots. And cutie. And here we have the ancestor sign, looking down slope again. So from here you can see where the flag is for Queenie's grave in that southeastern corner of the family plot. You can even see the garden sign there beyond. And here we have the beginnings of the map kiosk pavilion gazebo. Okay, this will be open. Let's keep the goats in. Here, you see, that's what he meant by, what True Timber meant by floating it. I think I actually have a level in my pocket. Should we give it a shot? Do I? Oh, I don't. Oh well, maybe next time. I trust him. Okay. So here's the entrance from Chandler. And it's pretty sign heavy. Right? It's pretty busy with signage here. It's like a New York City corner. And so I thought by pairing the sign for the footbridge with the dedication sign would be appropriate. It seems like it would kind of limit the impact to the view shed, and not overwhelm somebody trying to read everything all at once. And it's placed in such a way that you can kind of point or direct people to the earthworks. Actually, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. I don't think that the footbridge sign does not talk about the earthworks. That'll be on the other side of the bridge. The footbridge sign, I believe, talks about the spring. And if that was here, I would think it would follow this kind of gully right along the scarp. So, crossing the footbridge. We're approaching the back side of this dismount sign. And again, I thought we could pair the Bandy Road sign with the sign that's already here, since I guess we're on the extension of that Bandy Road or Bandy Lane. And this is the one that talks about the Civil War earthworks. And from here, you could direct visitors as they're leaving, possibly walking out of the park onto Chandler, guide them to look to their right and to the north, where you can see those extant Civil War earthworks. Okay, here's that rise to the former location of the lodge. So I thought that the Hams Hall sign could possibly be right here. I had initially placed it, I placed these things in a lot of different places at first, but placed it up here, higher up on the slope. But I think maybe just for accessibility and the fact that it's supposed to be a walking path, it shouldn't seem too crowded. But again, they're movable. Okay. Here's the tree, the witness tree. And here's a proposed location for this sign. It's not a location that would really be work for, say, having folks click on a marker or QR code to view the smoldering ruins with the witness tree in the background, but we can work on that. At any rate, witness tree. Here's the eroded path. And I thought maybe a sign here for the former path could be used to kind of block, even that, just emphasize this is not an access point by placing it right here on the edge. And if I'm correct, this is the nexus of the three properties. Suggests that this could be a sign location here. And that's all she wrote. So it's not a loop. Something to consider. Maybe there's another access point through the wooden fence that could be considered, or who knows, or it's just a turnaround. It's not a loop of a path. So that's what I got for you. Looking forward to continuing this very exciting work here at Sons and Daughters of Ham Cemetery.